Hi, my name is Celeste. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a look inside the Saxon Algebra 2 curriculum. I'm going to be using this curriculum with our oldest son in his 8th grade year. In the past, he also has used the Algebra 1/2 as well as the Algebra 1. I actually showed a look inside these two books, so I'll be sure to link that video in case you're interested in seeing a look inside of the structure, the layout of these two levels of Saxon. But in this video, I wanted to share about the Algebra 2 course. This is the 3rd edition. Saxon also has a 4th edition that kind of goes with a different flow or layout. In this course, it goes from Algebra 1 to Algebra 2, and there's also then an advanced mathematics book that would go after this Algebra 2 course. Saxon uses a spiral approach to learning. It's different than mastery. Teach a new concept, and then they go back and review previous concepts. So as they are moving forward learning new concepts, they're still having time to go back and spiral up and continue spiraling up in their learning. So they learn something new, they go back and they review. They learn something new and they go back and review. So I just wanted to say that is the structure of this curriculum, so you can decide whether that type of learning would work well for your child. In our homeschool, our upper level math is taught by my husband. He's definitely a math guy, so we're very blessed to have him. So if you're interested in seeing a look inside the Saxon Algebra 2, I'm going to flip the camera around and show you a look inside. Okay, so this is a look inside the Saxon Algebra 2 3rd edition. I'm going to show you a look inside the student textbook as well as the teacher supports, which are the homeschool testing book, the answer key, as well as the solutions manual. So I'll show you inside the student book and then we'll take a look inside the teacher resources. Something that we also use to aid in the teaching of algebra is the Nicole the Math Lady teaching videos. I'll be sure to link her website down below. But starting in Algebra 1, we also incorporate her videos. As I mentioned before, my husband is the one that does the teaching of Algebra 1. So her videos have been great and very helpful to us in our homeschool day. So what we do is our son will watch her teaching video. He'll independently work on his lesson. And then in the evening when my husband gets home, he's able to review with him any questions he has, review any topics. So it has been a wonderful teaching aid for us. So if you're looking for a little extra support in the teaching of Saxon math, I encourage you to check out Nicole the Math Lady's videos and you can see if it's right for you and your family. Okay, so this is the student text. This is what your student will need to be able to complete the course. Along with this, you also will need something to work the problems out. So some type of spiral notebook or somewhere where your student can work out the problems. Right. In the table of contents, it has the lessons that are within the book. So the first two lessons, lesson A and B, are review lessons. So there's a geometry review, and then it begins with lesson 1. And there are a total of 129 lessons in the book. There's also a glossary and an index and some answers in the back, which I'll also show you. All right, in the preface of the book, the author writes that this is a 3rd edition of the 2nd book in an integrated 3-book series designed to prepare the student for calculus. So it says in this book, we continue the study of topics from algebra and geometry and begin our study of trigonometry. In the 3rd edition, Saxon has designed geometry to be integrated within the Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and also the Advanced Mathematics book, which is the book that goes after this. So once a student completes all 3 courses, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Advanced Mathematics, they will have also a geometry credit included. So what I'm going to do is show you a few lessons at different points within the course so you can get an idea of the layout as well as the topics. I'm going to start with lesson 1. So lesson 1, after you've completed the 2 geometry review lessons, which are lessons A and B, it starts with polygons, triangles, transversals, proportional segments. And you'll notice that sometimes the lessons are split into sections. So if there's one lesson that has different kind of subsections or subtopics, they'll be split into 1A, 1B, C, and also 1D. So for each section, there is an explanation of the topic. There are examples. So if you are going to be teaching this to your student, you can use this information to kind of work with them and introduce each topic. After you have done that, then you are able to go to the practice problems And you can work these out if you have a whiteboard or however you would like with your student. And then independently, they can go ahead and work on their problem set. So the way that it works is that next to each problem, and I'll try to bring it a little closer so you can see, there is usually a number. In this case, there's also letters because of the 2 review lessons, but it'll tell you what lesson this problem or this topic was taught in. So for example, problem 6 was covered or taught in the review lesson B. So, and it does that throughout the entire course so that you're able to see and know precisely each problem where that lesson was taught. In case your child or your student has questions, you know what lesson to go back to, and that is extremely helpful as you are going through the course. Sometimes you need a little more review. It's great to be able to go back and show them that. All right, so we're going to go forward a little bit in the book. Lesson 36. So lesson 36 is contrived problems, multiplication of rational expressions, and division of rational expressions. The subdivisions of 36A, 36B, 36C. And there again are the examples. Then you go into the practice problems and the problem set. Every problem set usually has 30 problems, sometimes a couple less, but usually 30 problems. Moving forward a little more into this book, we get to lesson 88, which is the distance formula, the relationship PV equals nRT. So here you go into 88.8, which talks about the distance formula. 88.B, the relationship of PV equals nRT. And then you get into the practice problems here. And then the problem set. So that is pretty much the structure of the course. Again, I'll go a little more forward to a couple more lessons quickly. Lesson 129, stem and leaf plots, measure of central tendency, the normal curve, and standard deviation. Again, you have the explanation of the lesson. The back of the student book, there's also a glossary. And at the very end, there's also an answer key for the odd numbers. So at the very back of the student book, there are the answers for the odd numbers. So that is also here. And that kind of wraps up the end of the student book. There are 3 teacher aids. So there is the solutions manual, which we'll look at first. Then there is the homeschool testing book, and then the answer key as well available. So first we'll take a look at the solutions manual. Actually, I'll just say, compared to, if you've used the Algebra 1, compared to the Algebra 1, it is very thick. Oh my goodness, I would say it's about double the thickness of the Algebra 1 solutions manual. So, but it is great that they do have all the problems worked out. It's very helpful. If you need that additional support, as a teacher, it's great that that is there for you. So you have problem set 1. It has all of the questions and the answers worked out. So the nice thing about this specific solutions manual is that it has all of the solutions, not just the answers. So it's more than an answer key. It also has the solutions or the workout of each problem. So here you will find solutions for the practice sets as well as the problem sets. So this is done for the entire book. You have every single problem that's inside that student book. It is here in this book. So the workout for each problem, that's whether it's practice or whether it's a problem set. So that's kind of the layout. Again, it's very similar to the student's book in the sense that it does have it in the same order. It just has all the solutions for you, which is very helpful. So I would say that this book, depending on what you need, would be very helpful. The next booklet is the homeschool testing book. And so I want to say the teacher books for the Algebra 2 are a little bit different than the Algebra 1 as far as how they have things grouped together. So this is an example of that. In the Algebra 1 course, if you saw that video, you can see that there is actually a booklet that has all of the tests, and there's a separate test answer key. In the Algebra 2, they've kind of grouped it together. So this one booklet has the tests as well as the test solutions. So I'll show you what I mean. So the first section has all of the test solutions. So here it shows you all of the answers and the solutions for all of the tests. So this is test 1, Here you have test 2, and it goes on. So it has all of the test solutions for the entire course. The next thing it has is a testing schedule, which is extremely helpful. And they had this also in the Algebra 1/2 and the Algebra 1. So there are 32 tests in the entire course, and it tells you when you should administer each test. So for example, test 1 covers material through lesson 2, should be administered after teaching lesson 6. For example, test 11 covers material through lesson 42, but should be administered after lesson 46. So this testing schedule is extremely helpful. I actually keep a copy of this in my teacher binder, and it's very helpful to me as I'm scheduling things just to keep track of when each test should be administered. The next section in this booklet is the actual test for the student. So this is test 1, test 2. Every test has 20 problems, and it's a 1-page test. So, and it goes on that way. And then in order to work out the problem, meaning there's not much space there, and they do request the students show their work, there they have included also these kind of scratch papers in the end. You can include this with their test. So it's name, date, test, and the score. And they have a little grid box to work out each of their problems. So you can make copies of this and give this to your students so that they have the space they need. And this can be added and attached to their test. So this is basically what you need in order to do testing. So it has everything that you need in order to do the testing for this course. The last booklet that came included in the homeschool packet is the answer key. And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think this is really necessary. I think that it's just kind of a duplication of things that I've already covered in the other 2 teacher books. But basically what this has is just answers for the problem sets and the practice. So there's no solutions, only answers. So again, if you are really, really great at math and don't need the solutions, then this could be something you could look into. Instead of getting the solutions manual, which has everything worked out, maybe this could be enough for you if you're just looking for answers. Again, this is just an answer key for all of the problems inside the student book. Okay, so that is a look inside the Saxon Algebra 2 Curriculum 3rd edition. Do you have a favorite curriculum for upper level math? As we get into this level of upper level math, there can be a lot of questions or searching for the right curriculum and the right support. So if you have any tips, things that have worked for you, please comment down below. That way everyone can also kind of learn new strategies, new resources that are available as we continue to teach older students in their homeschool journey. Our curriculum choice videos, I mentioned that I'm going to be showing a look inside different curriculum that we will be using this year. So if you're interested in seeing a look inside any of those specific curriculums, you can keep a lookout for those videos. I pray this video was helpful. I pray that you and your family are well. I pray you are blessed. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I look forward to talking to you soon.